Hello and welcome back to another week of Honours Life. This week I've just been working on a take-home exam. So that's involved a few late nights and it's been pretty tiring. But not to worry, I have a new exam to keep me busy next week. Although I haven't done anything interesting this week, plenty of scientists have. So here's a few really cool science stories from this week. First up, researchers at Massachusetts General Hospital have done something truly remarkable. They've regrown a mouse's limb. And the way they did this was to take a limb from a dead mouse and strip it of all its muscles using this process that you can see here. And after this process, only the bones and nervous system remained. And then they took some muscular cells from another mouse and cultivated them onto this bony scaffold. And the end result was they had a fully formed mouse limb that had 80% the muscular strength of a newborn mouse. Now that's pretty incredible because they've gone from some bones to something which is fully functional. Of course, they didn't actually grow the bones from scratch, but this is a pretty big milestone. And it makes you hopeful for the future. Between this advancement in regrowing limbs and recent advancements in prosthetics, it may be soon that losing limbs is just a minor inconvenience. Now this research is in its early days still. They didn't grow the bones from scratch, so that's something that they're working on at the moment. But it probably won't be too long until we're fully capable of growing any limb we want, right from scratch. So I thought that was an extraordinarily remarkable story from this week. Moving on to our next story, scientists at Stanford University have developed an algorithm to help us build structures to form circuits out of light. Now scientists have been trying to build circuits with light for a while now, but they just couldn't get the right structure in place so that you could pass light from one place to another, transferring the data. So this has obvious advantages in that light travels at the speed of light, so your data will be transferred much faster. Plus, circuits use a lot of their electricity in generating heat. Now these light-based circuits won't do that, so they'll be far more efficient than our current circuits. So this is a pretty big step forward, and they've implemented this algorithm to build some structures which are actually working. So it might not be too long before we start seeing light-based computers coming on the market. I'm sure we'll all appreciate the new speed that will come along with these light circuits. Now for the final thing this week, Spacex has once again done something absolutely amazing. They put a camera on one of their fairing segments, which separated from the rocket after it left Earth's atmosphere. Now what this camera recorded was the Earth and Sun spinning in and out of view as the fairing tumbled about in space as it eventually made its way back down to Earth. Now along with some classical music, it makes for an absolutely fantastic video. Now, I highly recommend you go and have a watch. So that's it for this week. You'll find the press releases for the stories I covered in this video in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you check out that SpaceX video. See you next week.